Here we go. Friday time, August 31st. 15 game slate. Yesterday sucked. Everybody that had the Tigers, I don't like you people anymore. Just didn't go well. But Friday has been my best day of the entire baseball season. Every time it's a Friday, things go very well. So I am coming into today with that thought process. Jake, how'd your night end up?
The night was fine. I mean, I didn't do anything crazy, but Marquez kind of saved me from having a disaster. So being on him felt good with 50% of people. But yeah, I just didn't have the bats. So usually you're not going to do too well if you don't have the right stacks, and I didn't.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, just a lot of weird stuff. I'm surprised that no one saw the V-Mart double dong coming. You know, that seems like a natural thing to pick.
Right?
But for some strange reason, didn't really have a ton of it.
Yeah, I mean, congrats if you played VMart, the double dong. I mean, that's fine.
And even worse than that, Chris got a home run. And that really ruins my night. It gives me the least amount of satisfaction. That can't be right. Is Corey Kluber really 52% owned? Is that today?
I mean, he is cheap, but I don't think he'll be that owned. But
I just for a second I thought I was accidentally grabbing like early slate from yesterday or something.
that's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Wow. We'll get to that, I guess. All right, we've got 15 games. You ready to dive in?
Yep.
Let's do this. First game up, Brewers and Nats. I'm a little interested here, and I have a feeling you will be too. Brewers 4.4 run implied total. Nats 4.5. It's a 52% chance to win for the Nats. Julius Chassin going for Milwaukee. Tanner Roark going for Washington. Not a ton of interest in Chassin or Roark on this slate. The Nats bats are what I'm looking for, but we'll start with pitching. Are you looking at Roark at all, or Chassin, which would surprise me?
No, same page. Just guys I like to target with lefties. So power lefties against both of these guys, I think, are in play. Especially the Nats side. I think I agree. I'm more on the Nats than the Brewers, but probably two teams that will go somewhat overlooked as full stacks. And I'm interested when these two teams have a ton of upside. So that is a little bit concerning, the Milwaukee bullpen, but that's really the only hole I can poke in the full Nat stack.
10% aggregate ownership on FanDuel. We're projecting 5. 9% aggregate ownership on DK. We're projecting 2. I'm loading up on the Nats today. Love it. Have to. Chassin's so bad against lefties.
Yeah, he's not very good. I don't think he's very good all around, but especially against lefties.
If he's going to have to deal with like Harper and Soto, he's going to make a mistake pitch to one of those two guys.
Yeah, and they're cheap. Under 5K for both of them. Soto 4,600. That's like a mid-tier price tag for no reason.
Yeah, I love this. I can't. Noted amazing catcher Matt Wieters looks really good on DraftKings. I want to have a ton of Nats. I see no reason not to. I am a little surprised with how low the implied total is. I would have thought it would be a skosh higher than 4.5. Are we missing something there?
No, I mean, 9 total. These teams are pretty even. I mean, record-wise, the Nats are worse, but yeah, I think similar pitchers, similar team setup, like both deep lineups. Brewers have a decent bullpen. I don't know about the Nats bullpen overall, but I know they've had some struggles recently and kind of knocked themselves out of playoff contention because of it. We got to talk about Christian Yelich, how good of a player he is, 5,800.
Are you going to take him tonight?
For my home run?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
Who knows, though? We'll see.
Brewers getting a little juice on DK from me. I've got 5%, mostly the top 6, but a couple stacks worth of of those guys. I'd like to have some Yelich and some Shaw. Shaw dual eligibility, hitting fourth, lefty righty, 4,200. That's a really nice spot. He should be a popular one-off. I mean, I like Roark and all, but that's just a good price.
Yeah, I mean, Yelich, Shaw, Moustakas, I think are all guys that I'll have healthy shares of.
Same page. Anything of note, though? Anything you want to touch on in this game? It's just kind of like a bland game. I just like the Nats, and that's sort of it.
Yeah, I agree. I just have some pieces on both sides for hitting the guys that we mentioned.
Moving on. It's a quiet one. Cubs and Phillies. Cubs, 4.3 run implied total. Phillies, 4.4. It is a 51% chance to win for the Phils. Jose Quintana going for Chicago. Nick Pivetta going for Philadelphia. Pavetta's the one getting a little bit of ownership, 10% right now on DK. Not entirely sure I agree with that. I wouldn't really want to have 10% of Pivetta on a full slate against the Cubs. But are you looking at Pivetta at all?
Yeah. I don't want to have 10% either. I want to have more.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to be over that. I'm hoping it sticks there, but I have a feeling his ownership's going to go up as the day goes on.
Okay.
As you kind of see his like home road splits, those are real with Pivetta. It looks like he's so talented, and when he's at home, he's striking out over 30% of hitters, 29% hard contact. On the road, 24% K rate, 40% hard contact. Like that's a pretty wide gap for a guy that's made a bunch of starts this year, like well over 20 starts. And I think his stuff is great. And there are some strikeouts with Bodie and Schwarber and Contreras and pitcher spot down there too. So I'm not really worried about his strikeout upside. He's below 8K, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I think he should be 9K, 9,500, and I'll take the discount and apparently the ownership discount too.
Yeah, I just have him with like basically the same projection as so many different dudes. I have him at 15.1 on DK. I've got Anibal Sanchez at 15.4, Senzatella at 15.2, Gomber at 15, Payan at 15.5, Greinke at 15.9. There's just so many dudes with what amounts to the exact same projection. So I'm not getting to Pivetta all that much right now. I guess I could see it creeping up a little bit, but I was surprised to see that he was one of the double-digit guys today.
Yeah, I mean, 10% it's not going to make or break you on a 15-game slate. I mean, it could.
No, not at all.
You make a big stand. But yeah, I don't think you need to like fire up a Cubs hedge stack. I think Pivetta is not a guy I want to do that with for the most part, and especially not on a 15-game slate.
Yeah, I don't really want much of anything here. I don't have any interest really in the Cubs bats.
No Phillies?
A little bit of Phillies on FanDuel, but no real interest on DK. Hoskins and Roman Quinn would be the two guys that I would get to the most on FanDuel. Quinn only 2,600 leading off, or at least projected to lead off. But these are two teams that I won't really have much volume for.
Yeah, I would add in Ramos, definitely. I mean, he's expensive on DK, but I think he's one of the best catcher options. And then Carlos Santana, hitting lefties really well. I mean, I'd even full stack against Quintana. I have no issue doing that. I don't think he's very good. Not for DFS, not really in real life. Like he just doesn't have great stuff, and especially not to righties. So he's going to get all righties here. And it looks like wind blowing side to side, maybe a little bit out to left. And this park, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the best for righty power.
It is.
Is that right?
You are absolutely right.
So all those things adding up, and pretty low ownership as well, besides Reese.
Yeah, no ownership to Wilson Ramos, I think, is interesting.
Yeah, I'm in Phillies for sure.
Okay. I'm trying to think about how I feel about it just in my head. I think I'm more of a Quintana believer, and that's just kind of making me nervous, but this is the type of ballpark where like one of these teams could pop off. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if either one of these teams put up 10 today.
Yeah.
I could see Pavetta getting touched up by Murphy, Rizzo, Hayward, Schwarber. You know,
I mean, it's not a perfect matchup for Pavetta, but I just think he's going to be able to get enough strikeouts where if he gets in trouble, he's going to be able to navigate his way out of true damage.
yeah. That's I guess where we disagree. Then I don't see this as a great strikeout matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's probably average, maybe a little below average, but I think he's got the talent to overcome that, and he's under 8K. I don't know. I think that's pretty stupid.
Speaking of guys that don't K all that much, Mookie Betts like notoriously doesn't K, right?
Giolito.
Yeah. And Betts had like multiple dudes on yesterday, and I was like, all right, Betts, like something's gonna happen here. Mookie Betts strikes out swinging. I was like, motherfucker, come on, of all the people.
Yeah.
My least favorite pitcher in baseball, in a situation where I have 2.5 times the field on Mookie Betts and Betts K's. It was I felt like Giolito came to my house and kicked me in the crotch.
Yeah. Giolito just mowing down the Red Sox. I mean, if you had that one, another one, congrats if you had that. But I think if you make that play, you're going to get burned more often than not.
I can't even. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they didn't have him in trouble, too, at times. But when I saw 4 innings, 6 strikeouts, I was like, yeah, time to watch the PGA show and maybe make some money back.
Exactly. What I did. To the Tigers we go. Noted sluggers from yesterday. The Detroit Tigers with a 3-run implied total today. 5.5 for the Yankees. 76% chance to win. It doesn't get much higher than that. Jordan Zimmerman going for Detroit. Luis Severino going for New York. Severino, projected ownership 42% on DraftKings, 33% on FanDuel. I'm going to be under that no matter what. Those two numbers are both higher than my ownership caps on a full slate. I know you're not going to Jordan Zimmerman. So what are you thinking about Luis Severino?
We just got another update. Ownership. So Severino's a little bit lower than that. Kluber's even higher. And just kind of some weird stuff. So I'm excited to play this slate. I love these big ones on Fridays. And
me too.
Watch you guys on the live stream and mess around and chat. So it's going to be fun, but I'm seeing ownership that I really disagree with for pitching, and that's always fun because I'll get different lineups than people.
Speaking of live streams tonight, tune in directly after the live stream, 8 o'clock Eastern. Fast Eddie Fear doing his first show under the Awesemo.com banner. Check it out.
That's exciting. What do you know what he's talking about? I'm not involved, so.
Overview of the industry, I believe. I'll drop his tweet in the chat right now.
Yeah, it's like it's called Taking It Out on the Touts, right?
I won't know it until I see it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Nah, you just refresh my memory. There we go. It's called like the discontent with content.
Yeah,
around the industry or something.
I'm grabbing. I got the tweet link now, so
he's a good voice for that.
There we go. Should be in the chat now. All right, let's bounce back to the Severino talk.
Yeah, Severino.
36% expected ownership. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just such a good matchup. I like attacking Detroit with righties. Severino can strike out righties or lefties. Over 27% against both sides this year. And he looks better his last couple starts, back-to-back 8K performances. I know he's not going super deep, but I think he's still got 30-point upside here if he can get to 6 innings. And it's not like they're pulling him early. 107, 100 pitches, 98, 109, 115 his last 5 starts. So very encouraging there. And if he puts it together in this start, he's a guy who could put up 35 plus. Like he's got that kind of upside, that kind of stuff. And he's just going to blow his fastball by all these guys, I think, especially at the bottom of the lineup with Matuk and James McCann and Ronnie Rodriguez, Jacoby Jones. It just sets up so nicely for Severino. And we're getting a discount on him. Another one where don't understand why, but he's like 1,000 too cheap. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. On this one, I actually agree with you. So he could easily be $1,000 more expensive for today.
I mean, if he was 13K, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. He's a huge favorite. Good strikeout matchup. He's looked better. But I mean, this is you have some wiggle room there with like if he allows a couple runs early, he could still bounce back and give you 25 plus.
Yeah, he has the highest odds of being a top 2 scoring pitcher today by a relatively significant margin over Corey Kluber. So, and he's still like normally these top guys they have trouble getting high grades in the top value rankings because for Luis Severino to be one of the top 2 value pitchers, I mean he's putting up like a really insane day. And he's still getting to 3%. Normally, those guys, hover in the 1% to 2% range on like an average day. So I really like Severino here. I'll cap it. Like he'll hit my cap at 29% on DK, 23% on FanDuel. But I love it. I'm all over Severino today.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
I can't imagine not being on him.
Yeah. So just quick before we talk about Kluber. You're higher on Severino than Kluber, correct?
I don't really. I'm going to have the same amount of both of them on both sides.
They're gonna both hit your cap.
Yep. Actually, I'm not going to have that much. I'm not going to have the same amount of Kluber on FanDuel. We could talk about that once we get to the Indians. But yeah, Severino and Kluber are going to smash into the 29% cap, almost assuredly. Yeah. So
I think Severino's a way better play than Kluber, and in any format tonight. So. Seeing Kluber at
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So he grades out better for me on DK, even with the increased salary, and on FanDuel he's $900 cheaper than Kluber. So I'm going to Severino regardless in that scenario.
Okay,
same page.
Cool.
If I had to pick between the two, I would pick Severino, especially if Severino's expected ownership is 36% and Corey Kluber's is 55%.
I mean, at 55%, like if I thought he was going to be 55% in, I think it'll come down. But like if I truly thought he was going to be 55%, I would have probably 0 Corey Kluber and just use all my exposure in that range with Wheeler and Severino.
So like it'll probably drop to what, mid 40s? You think?
Well, I mean, it depends on the tournament we're talking about.
Sure.
I think Kluber's going to be a guy that's going to be higher owned at lower stakes.
What do you think he is in the mini-max? I mean, that's what we're really talking about here, right?
37, maybe, like not above 40, I don't think. But the ownership projections are for like the
10,300, and there is just nothing else around him that looks good.
Oh, I think Wheeler's just a better play.
Ooh. All right, we'll get there.
I think Wheeler's a better pitcher right now.
All right.
Good.
We'll get there, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is that a hot take? But
1% projected ownership to Wheeler. I don't have him. Grades out really poorly, so there's a stand to take if you want to get off of that Kluber ownership.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking that stand.
Ooh, I'm excited. All right, so Yanks bats. Number 8 stack for me on FanDuel. Number 4 on DK. These guys are killing me. But Stanton finally getting off the schneid. Dong. Luke unavoidable. Dong. I'm going back to the Yankees. They're relatively chalky. 10% aggregate on DK, 7 on FanDuel. I have similar amounts on both sites. So, you going back to the Yanks?
Yeah, I will have some Yankees here. I like playing these like teams that everybody loves playing when they're on big slates and they're going to be 8% owned rather than last night when you got Luke Voigt at 30%. Mm-hmm. Any dongs, of course. Not even off the starter, too.
Dude, he's unavoidable. You know this.
Funnier. So that's fine. I mean, sometimes you need to be lucky in DFS. I've had nights where I've been super lucky. So
those are the only days that are good for me.
Yeah, recently. Put yourself in a spot to get lucky, I guess. So Hicks is my favorite play here, 4,600. And then after him is Stanton and Torres and Neil Walker. I like at 3,600, and that is really about it.
Yeah, look, I like everything because I don't really like Jordan Zimmerman. 5.5 run total, second highest on the slate. I like Gardner, Stanton, Hicks, Andahar, Walker, Greg Bird. I wish Luke Unavoidable was in the lineup, but he's not. It's the Yankees. There's too much talent at the top of the order, and there's not enough talent on the Tigers. So, sign me up. They'll be, I assume I'll be at least with the field. I don't get the sense that I'm going to blow over where the field is sitting right now. But
okay,
they look good, man. They look good. Just too much home run power here. I'll be right back with Stanton.
For sure.
He could go on a tear now that he's got that 300 out of his head. I don't totally believe in that sort of stuff, but I know that if I were sitting at 299, I'd be like dropping that back shoulder, trying to get one out of there. So might be able to just level out. Any McCutchen today, I guess.
That's a good question by T McB. Something to monitor. I would say probably not yet.
Yeah,
but the next time they face a lefty, I don't know when that is. Yeah, I mean, he's for sure going to be in the lineup.
I mean, he got traded yesterday, and the Giants were in San Francisco last night, so I don't get the sense that they're going to need to rush him out for a game where they're a 76% chance to win, and he's going to fly 3,000 miles in 24 hours.
So I wonder what this means about Judge too. Like,
yeah, really?
They must not think he's they must think he may miss the rest of the season if they're bringing in McCutchen.
I mean, no. I mean, I think it's just sort of loading up. Let me take a look at the depth chart for the Yanks quick. Not normally the path we take in this show, but I think it's worth at least looking at. It's like you'd rather have McCutchen than Shane Robinson, right?
Shane Robinson, yeah, he's kind of a disaster.
Just you have Stanton, McCutchen, Gardner, Hicks, and Judge to rotate through whatever you need. And Judge can DH. I like it. I think it's a really good pickup. I think it's a nice upgrade for them, heading into the stretch.
I mean, definitely can't complain about that pickup if you're a Yankees fan.
Yeah, it's not like McCutchen's 5 years ago McCutchen or anything, but he's better than Shane Robinson.
Still a good player.
Alrighty. Pound the Yanks. Are you going to the Tigers stack today since they were so amazing yesterday?
No Tigers.
Good. That's an interesting way to put that, T McB. Judge still not even taking dry swings. But in-game stuff would be like wet swings.
Yeah, you get the feet wet.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. To the Blue Jays we go. Blue Jays and Marlins. Jays 4.3 run implied total. Marlins 4.2. I feel like I'm reading off the same numbers over and over again. 51% chance to win for the Jays. 3 basically coin flip games just to start. Aaron Sanchez going for Toronto. Dan Straley going for Miami. Sanchez projected 10% ownership on DK. I got 1. Dan Straley projected 15% ownership on DK. I've got 2. Are either of these 2 pitchers standing out for you?
No, not really. I could make a case for Straley, but not someone that I want to play at 15%. I don't think he's going to kill me if I don't play him. He doesn't come up high in the projections for me. Just for the season, he just allows so many line drives to lefties. So I'm looking at Morales and McKinney. So that's kind of why, the construction of the Toronto lineup is kind of why I can see why people want to play Straley, but I think I can find an option like Pivetta, who I think has legit 25, 30-point upside if things go really well for him, whereas I think Straley's going to give up some runs here, and I don't think he's got nearly the strikeout upside that Pivetta has. So that's my beef with him. I will be playing McKinney and Morales against him. And then I just wasn't impressed by what I saw from Aaron Sanchez. in his last start. I mean, the chase rate was fine. He wasn't really getting ahead of guys. The results weren't even that good. Like, he gave up 6 earned runs and 2 strikeouts in 4 innings. I don't know. I don't think he's got, like, he has a good fastball and stuff and good changeup, but he just hasn't put it together yet. And I don't really want to play him at chalk or any sort of ownership just yet.
I'm with you. I don't need any pitching here. I have no part of the Marlins. The one team that I'm going to be over the field on will be the Blue Jays, as per usual. We're only projecting 1% ownership, so like no one's getting any steam here. I'll have everybody in like the 4, 5, 6 range as an average. Nobody really standing out. They're just sort of like $200 underpriced across the board. So that's just what I'm looking at. I'm not wild about it. It's not a great spot. They just sort of have the right makeup for me. So I'll be over the field, but they're more of a secondary thing for me.
Okay.
I like Grichuk quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so Grichuk, I mean, I'll take him against a righty.
McKinney leading off is awesome.
Yeah, McKinney and Morales are by far my favorites, and then after that would probably be Grichuk and Lourdes Gurriel. But I don't know where I would go for the 5th guy if I was hand building a lineup. So that's kind of my issue with the Blue Jays.
Danny Jansen, man. No?
You're not getting him at 2K, though.
No, you're not.
He won't dong at 3,400. He'll only dong at 2K.
I like Danny Jansen. Team Danny Jansen, everybody. Get on the train. Got to get this win. Jake, don't build around Morales. Don't worry. I'll pick Morales and he'll dong for the home run tonight. He's like Yelich for Jake. Morales is my Yelich.
Morales just hit like 18 home runs in 4 days.
And I had him for none of them.
I didn't have it either.
Rays and Indians. God, I don't even know how to talk about Corey Kluber today. Rays 3.3 run implied total. Indians 4.7. The 66% chance to win for the Indians. Tyler Glass now going for the Rays. Corey Kluber obviously going for Cleveland. As we've touched on, Kluber 55% expected ownership. Jake and I are expecting a little bit lower in the low stakes. I'd say probably 40 to 45 is where he ends up. Just a guess if we're talking mini max. 30% expected on FanDuel. I've only got 15 there. Are we advocating a fade of Corey Kluber today?
I mean, I am. It's always something with him his last like month. Like he's barely had clean starts. And when he does, or even like the last like month and a half, when he does have these clean starts, he's not getting a lot of swings and misses. So he had that shutout against the Angels at home. But like guys are hitting him a lot harder, and he's giving up hard contact to lefties, and he's going to get a bunch of lefties here. No, they're not great lefties, but it's not like these guys all strike out at 30% clips or anything like that. And if he's going to be chalk for 10-3, I mean, I don't think he gets blown up or anything. I think he's got a pretty decent chance at 20, and who knows? He could be the top raw point scoring pitcher, but I just see 2 options that I think have a good chance to match him right around his price in Wheeler and Severino. So it's a pretty easy fade for me, just for ownership reasons.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. No matter where his ownership ends up, I'm going to be under the field. I won't be anywhere higher than 29%, and there's no way he's falling from 55 to 29 unless we find out that he has, like, I don't know, the flu or something. Just can't do it.
I hope.
Look, I like him. I mean, he's fine. It's not like I have an aversion to his particular matchup or anything today. It's strictly an ownership decision.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he's a good pitcher. Yeah. He's not. I just don't think he kills me today, even at 10-3. I really don't think he kills me if I fade him. And there's a chance that he goes 5 or 6 innings and gives up. Severino is 35% as well, though, and 1K more. Yeah. I don't know, Tom. Where do you stand on this? Like, you want to play the 50% owned pitcher rather than the guy with higher upside at 11-3? I don't know.
I think you and I will be on the same page here. We're not going to go to the Rays for this. It's just less Kluber ownership.
Exactly.
So I don't see Kluber getting like bludgeoned by the Rays.
No, I'm not trying to say that.
No, I was just making sure that we weren't. I don't see a hedge stack as particularly viable here.
No, I still think Kluber is fine, but he's not the Kluber of last year. He seems so safe, probably will differentiate with stacks. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather play pitcher chalk than hitter chalk on a 15-gamer. He does seem reasonably safe, but I'm just concerned. Like, run prevention has not been his thing as of late. So giving up more hard contact and all that stuff, I'm just taking the risk that he's not the same Kluber, and I don't think he is, that we saw last year, where he was just mowing down everyone pretty much every start.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. Indians bats, I'm not super interested in because I really like Tyler Glasnow. I assume you feel similarly. I don't want Glasnow on DK. I probably won't get to him on FanDuel either. But he's not someone that I'm interested in targeting. Like, it wouldn't shock me if he just started mowing people down. He's got that kind of stuff.
Right. So that's kind of the risk with Glasnow. He's, to his credit, he's been very good in the majors this year. Hasn't had a classic Glasnow blow up. Not saying he won't. I mean, all pitchers do at some point, and this could be it. But I think it's just going to be. So Jose Ramirez, number one, he's 5,300. That's too cheap for him, as weird as that is to say. And Francisco Lindor, I was kind of low on him on the night shift last night. But now realizing how bad Glasnow is at holding runners, I'm all over Ramirez and Lindor. Full stack, kind of a different deal. There's not much speed throughout that lineup, but love Jose Ramirez and really, really like Lindor. So just wanted to talk about those two guys quick.
Yeah, Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez are the only guys that I'm going to have with any sort of gusto. That's all I can do here. I like Glasnow too much.
You can just see them like creating runs with their legs.
Yeah.
If Glasnow walks Lindor, he's attempting a steal at the very least. Like, if they pitch out and get him, that's fine. But it's too good of a stolen base matchup to ignore for 52 and 5,300.
I would agree with you there. To the Pirates.
100%. Yeah, Shark. 100% on a hitter. That's what we advocate here at Osmo.com.
Yeah. All in, all the time. Pirates and Braves. Pirates 3.9 run implied total. Braves 4.1. 52% chance to win every single one of these games. Jameson Taillon going for Pittsburgh. Anibal Sanchez going for Atlanta. Sanchez, my guy. Normally my guy. I've had like overwhelming amounts of Anibal Sanchez for the past month. Not today. Not today, my friends. We're projecting 5% ownership. I've got 4. I see this pitching matchup as relatively uneventful. I see this hitting matchup as relatively uneventful. Sorry, Braves, but you could wipe this game from the slate and it wouldn't make a difference to me.
Yeah. So I think if I'm going to something in this game, how I put it last night was I'm leaving Anibal Sanchez in my player pool. So I'm not like actively fading him. I'm not actively trying to get him in. I'm sure I'm going to end up with some Anibal. He's just been pretty solid, and I think he's got a chance to get to 18 points more often than not in the spot. We just saw what Flaherty, who I think is awesome, do against the Pirates, and then Gant last night. Anibal Sanchez is as good of a pitcher as Gant. Not saying that's perfect logic, but we've seen enough from Sanchez to believe that he's improved, and he misses bats. And the Pirates have just been awful against righties over the last month. So all that together, 8K against a team with a 3.8 run total. I do have some interest in Sanchez. And then against Taillon, not someone I want to be targeting against. But Freddie Freeman is 4,600, so I will make an exception. Lefty power against Tyon.
Yeah, Freeman grades out really well if you want to use him as a one-off. It's a real nice spot, 4,600, nice price. Yeah, I don't have anybody in this game more than 1%. So this will be the old 10-9 game for me. I could see.
Remember we had that earlier. I actually, it was the Pirates and the Dodgers. I said this game basically doesn't exist to me. I think that was the last time I said it. And I was like, so congrats on your 11-9 game. And then it was actually like 11-9.
I do remember that, yeah.
I was like, man, I should probably never say that again.
See if you can call the score here. What's the final of the Pirates-Braves game?
I think it's going to be like 4-1 Braves.
All right, I'll take it. You ready to talk chalk?
Oh, yeah. Texas, fun.
The Minnesota Jakes, 5.1 run implied total. Rangers, 5.9. 56% chance to win for the Rangers. Steven Gonsalves going for Minnesota. Drew Hutchison going for Texas. I just can't get enough of the pitching here, you know? Good stuff on both sides. Nope. Chalk, chalk, chalk all around. Every bat, it's all chalk. Rangers, number 2 stack for me on FanDuel, number 1 on DK. Twins, number 1 stack for me on DK. They're the inverse. Look, these are the two teams. It's a really great spot. Both pitchers suck. How do we hash this out? What do we do to be unique here?
So, it is a good spot for sure. I think I prefer the Rangers side, and that's going to be the really popular side. Elvis Andrus, 3,800 against a lefty. Like, man, this is, I don't know, it's kind of tough to fade just because you want some of this expensive pitching, and no one's above 4,600 in this game. So
one of these teams has to blow up, right?
You'd think. 2 bad pitchers on the mound, not great bullpens either. 95 degrees. It's pretty tough to fade. Just know what you're getting into as far as ownership is all I'll say.
Yeah. So what's the gimmick going to be when Gonsalves is crazy? Gonsalves? Is that how we're going to say it?
Gonsalves? Oh, in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to call him when he's got 7 Ks through 2 innings because there's a drop third strike and he gets another one or something stupid?
Yeah. Pitcher's duel. So the thing about these games, though, like, you have to remember, this game could be 7-8, and the stack may not be the nuts. Like,
yeah,
the stack still needs to go crazy on a 15-game slate. And at these ownerships, I'm not saying full fade, but I'm going to be underweight on both sides of the stack just because that kind of ownership for 2 bad teams, I'm just not interested in doing that when you can stack up the Yankees or the Astros or someone like that.
Yeah, I'll be underweight on both as well. My stack caps will, based on where we're at right now, my stack caps will just naturally be under that. So I'm still going to have them as much as I can possibly have them as a team, both sides, because it's the most opportune hitting environment on the day. And they're cheap enough that you can fit them in with the Corey Klubers and Luis Severinos of the world. So it's just really soft pricing in a game with 11 run total.
That it is.
I don't even know who to touch on. Like, I like Chu quite a bit. I assume he's not in our projected lineups right now, but people will probably scoff at the lefty-lefty thing, but it's not like Gonsalves is going to be in there for 8 innings. Chu's going to see a righty at some point in time. I can almost guarantee it. They don't have that many lefties. I like everything.
Yeah,
but
Chu's
39% Andrews.
Chu hits lefties fine. Odor hits lefties maybe better than righties this year.
That can't be
true. Like, he hits lefties well. Just go by like WRC plus. I bet it's close.
I'm fascinated by this now. Yeah, I've got it here. 108 weighted runs created plus against lefties this year. 121 against righties this year.
121. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a little bit different numbers after I did last. I think it was Sunday maybe. So I have 118 against lefties, but either way,
Yeah, he's been a lot better this year because it was a dumpster fire previously.
oh, he was awful. That's kind of like just to turn around in one season. Apparently, maybe it's just a fluke. I don't know, but
Either way, it's not like they're getting a sea of lefties here.
this is kind of the same thing that I said yesterday with Detroit. Do you really want to stack up? Well, the Twins, a pretty bad team, and not even a good-looking lineup. Like, I get the Rangers chalk here. Gonzalez has been bad, and this Rangers lineup has a ton of power. But like the Twins, you really want to stack them up on a 15 gamer as chalk?
I do.
God, I don't.
Give me Max Kepler. Give me noted slugger Logan Forsythe. I need to get a Logan Forsythe jersey shirt with the Jake's logo on the front.
So this is going to be another one, I think, where I go kind of like last night with the Yankees, and it didn't work out, but I think the reasoning was somewhat sound, where I'm just going to have a lot of two-mans if I'm running 5-2-1s, because everyone's going to – not everyone, but a lot of people, when they stack up one of these teams, they're going to go, well, they're chalk, so I might as well five-man stack them. But I'm going to try to get the one or two guys that are the best parts of this stack, because I think there's going to be runs, but if the runs are all come from one or two guys and you get a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer, and the rest of the stack stays somewhat quiet, you're in a really good spot in GPPs while also playing some chalk hitters.
That I agree with. These guys are just way too cheap.
Strategy. Yeah, that's a Tom strategy that Manny did on one of his shows, I think a couple months back. Philly stacked today. Agreed, Mike.
Yeah, I think I agree as well.
I'll take credit.
Actually, yeah. I don't agree.
Tom, I was studying your NHL teams the last couple of nights, actually, which is weird. Tom's like our boss, and I'm studying his lineups for a different sport. But
yeah. I mean, I spent an overwhelming amount of hours digging through NFL lineups of said boss and other boss.
Yeah. Alex is too. I mean,
I've got a notebook of notes here with lineup construction and exposure settings, and yeah, I went balls deep.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm doing the same thing for NHL. Not just Tom and Alex, but a bunch of other really good guys trying to gear up. Tom, Jake is coming after you. Keep an eye open while you sleep. Well, we live pretty far apart, so I think I'll be good.
Not too far apart.
6-hour drive, 7-hour drive.
I mean, you're closer than I am.
True.
If I wouldn't even try to drive. But I don't like driving in general. Very overrated mode of transportation. I need to get one of those self-driving cars as fast as possible because I'm going to be the first person to hit that button and relax.
I'm a big drive guy.
I was when I was your age. I don't have the energy any longer. It's so fucking boring. I mean, I used to do the road. Back in my day, like I used to drive to Pittsburgh a lot to go party in Pittsburgh, and I was in Eastern Pennsylvania, so it was a 4-hour drive from college to Pittsburgh. 3 hours of that were on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and the best you could do was like, all right, I need to burn some CDs. There's no podcasts. I didn't have Sirius. This was 2004. Like, man, you just listen to the same music over and over again. It was terrible. I didn't even have an iPod yet, I don't think.
No Spotify.
Yeah, there's no streaming music, but no podcast is the weirdest thing. I can get through it now, but
yeah,
I would listen to the same CD at the same spot of the road all the time. So like when I passed a particular exit, I knew that it was time to switch to a different CD. And then when we were an hour out, we had like a pit mix CD that played the right music as you got into Pittsburgh and you started seeing the bridges and stuff. And then you were all pumped to go crush Natty Lights.
I could not relate any less.
Yeah, I would drive 4 hours just to get drunk, like a lot.
What is a CD?
I skipped. I skipped some sort of science exam for the Pittsburgh Super Bowl. That was good. Go college. There are songs that end, and I fully expect some totally unrelated song to start afterwards because it was on the old tapes that ran a loop in my car. T McBee, exactly right. When I hear certain songs, I will immediately start singing whatever song was next on that mix CD that I had. Always. Always.
Guys,
All right. Enough about memory lane.
ready to talk about the GOAT? Are we talking about Kopech now?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Next game. Angels and Astros here. Angels 3.6 run implied total. Astros 4.9. It's a 65% chance to win for the Stros. Jaime Barria going for the Angels. Framber Valdez going for the Astros. I'm probably going to need to massage this dude's innings a bit, but I've got some of him here, 16% in fact. So how much digging did you do on Mr. Valdez?
Not much, but right now the interest is very, very mild. I mean, decent total against him. He's a favorite. That's about
Decent
the only
total.
thing. I'm not going to act like I've done a deep dive on him. So
Dude, he's got a
oddly
3.6
enough, I'll
run
probably
implied
wait.
total.
I'll probably wait for the deep dive. I don't know if it's Adam or Lofty doing it today, but it's a really
today
really cool
it is Laffy. Speaking of, sound the alarms. Wah, wah, wah. Friday, 11 a.m. So probably a little over a half hour after Jake and I sign off. The debut of the unofficially named process show. Myself and Adam gonna talk deeper strategies and things that we do on a day-to-day basis for fantasy baseball. So hang around after Jake and I are done because I'm coming right back. Let's dig into Valdez here. I need to see if I need to nerf his innings because I think that's my only issue right now. All right, he went 4 1/3 in his first, relief appearance, and then he faced 20 batters on the 26th, 5 innings. So I see no reason he's not going at least 5. Would we agree there?
Valdez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he's not. It's not like he's not physically capable of going. Is what I'm saying.
yeah. No, he's. I mean, 77 pitches his last start, 67 the start before. Yeah, he can go 5.
Okay,
I mean,
I've got him in for 5 1/3. It is a sea of righties, which is terrifying, but 3.6 run implied total. Angels have been really bad against lefties this year. 85 weighted runs created plus for the season. 373 slugging. Valdez profiles to have some decent stuff. He might be a guy that we dig into at 11 o'clock. Let's look at his minor stats today. I do want to touch on him a little bit for everybody that can be here right now. Minor leagues, biggest chunk of innings was in Double-A, 11.5 Ks per 9. That's a big-time strikeout rate. Obviously Double-A, but 30% K rate is something that I'm looking for. A sub-3 FIP. I'm interested. I think that he's going to be a guy that I'm rolling out pretty healthily, especially if he's only 3% owned on DK. I don't know if I'm going to get to the old 17% that I have on FanDuel right now, but Team Framber Valdez.
I mean, I'm not going to argue against it. He's under 7K. He's a big favorite. Looks decent enough to me. I mean, and then I'm looking at the other side, and there's only one guy I want to play against him, and that's Trout. So there you go. When you're MMEing, sometimes you need to make it a little bit more simple. So Trout's under 6K. That's why I like him. He's against the lefty. That's a pretty easy play for me. And then what do you think about Barria? Or specifically, what do you think about the Astros bats?
They are my number 9 stack on both sites. I am over the field.
Yeah, I'm going to have a ton of Astros tonight. Barria has got some real issues against righties. I don't know what he's doing, if he's hanging that slider he throws or what, but 548 xFIP, 38% hard contact, 392 WOBA. I know we shouldn't mention WOBA too much, but 44% fly ball rate. Like, these numbers are really bad. He's not really striking out righties either. And he's going to get 6 right in a row: Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, White, Gurriel. who all hit righties very, very well, all over 130 or 112 WRC pluses for the season. Yeah, what's not to like with the Astros? 5-run total, wind blowing out if they keep the roof open. Yeah, I'm all over.
Yeah, they look great. Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa. You know where your bread gets buttered, so to speak. They're just too good, and they're cheap. Bregman's got dual eligibility, so I'll happily pay the $5,600 in that scenario. I mean,
Yeah,
normally I'm going to have Correa at $4,400 too, which is preposterous pricing, but yeah, love the Astros. Have to. More of a secondary stack for me. It doesn't strike me as a spot where I want to have like overwhelming volume, but I do want to be over the field. And I will be. And you know who helps make that happen? Cheap pitchers like Framber Valdez.
There you go. Correlation stack. One of my favorite NHL things. Play the goalie with the stack. Good correlation.
Framber is going to be like that day everyone was on Knicks and he ended with like -8. Yeah, those are two very different pitchers.
Yeah. I think Framber's a little bit better than Knicks.
That would be a very, very true statement. All right, now it's time. The new GOAT. Red Sox and White Sox. Red Sox 5-run implied total. White Sox 4. 60% chance to win for the Red Sox. It's Nate Eovaldi going for Boston. And the new GOAT, Michael Kopech, going for Chicago. Kopech projected for 0 ownership. I've got 0 Kopech. I do, however, have a little bit more than the field of Nate Eovaldi. So, which pitcher do you prefer, Jake?
I mean, that's an interesting question because they're at completely different ownerships. If you get right on Kopech, you only need 5% to have a huge edge. I mean, I'll have shares of both. So starting with Eovaldi, he had a 20% swinging strike game in his last start, despite allowing 6 earned runs. So sometimes maybe it's just a short sample thing, but he can miss bats and he can throw the fastball by all of these White Sox hitters who, as we know, strike out a ton. And he's at a fair price point, I think. So some interest in Eovaldi. And then Kopech is he's just uber talented. And if Luke Giolito can do it, then maybe we can target against the Red Sox a little bit more than we have been. Like, I've just been avoiding them basically all season after the first couple weeks. I'm trying to look at their numbers, see if they're hitting poorly against righties for whatever reason. It feels like they've been shut down more often than not. They're still not really striking out. Yeah, 127 WRC plus against righties over the last month. So it's not a good matchup for Kopech. You're just betting on talent, and at no ownership, I'm willing to get some shares of him. So, and I'm not full stacking against him, I don't think.
I will have no shares of Kopech. I
Not
will
even like
what?
not even like 3%, though.
I have no idea what you're saying right now. You're vibrating.
Not even like 3%.
No.
Okay. All right.
Not at
That's
9,100.
I know that's the thing.
Like,
I kind of like it because no one's gonna play him.
No one should play him. I mean, really, no one should play him. He's 9,100 going against the team that matches righties better than any other team in baseball. I'd rather just not take Red Sox bats than take Kopech.
Okay.
But I'm taking Red Sox bats. They're my number 7 stack on FanDuel and number 3 on DK.
The guy is just not like he just belongs. That's like the best way I can put it. Here's
where I'm nervous. Red Sox, not a great strikeout matchup. Lots of guys that have pretty good batting eye. And, Kopech is not exactly a command guy. I get having Kopech at 9,100 in some of these scenarios because he does have that big-time stuff, but I don't think that the Red Sox are the team to get cute with. I mean, like, he
I
might
just
pop
can't-
up at 1 or 2%. Who knows? I mean, anybody can pop up for me randomly. This is as bad of a spot as you could possibly get. And I don't think that
Yeah,
not having him is going to be a barrier for me.
maybe not. That's okay. When you put it like that, I think that makes sense.
What are the odds he's the difference to win a GPP?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, I can see not having the Red Sox being the leverage point you want to get to.
Yeah, but they're not even that highly owned. I guess it would be a much more juicy GPP play if the Red Sox were going to get a bunch of ownership.
Yeah, if they were 11% aggregate or something like that, that changes the equation a little bit. But you're not picking up all that much. You know, if he K'd 12 or something, I mean, he's got a crazy arm. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to be on his first, like coming out start, and I don't know, when no one's gonna be on him, I'm gonna have.
He can't go deep in this game, right? That's just almost impossible.
What do you mean he can't go deep?
He's gonna throw so many pitches in so little innings.
Why?
He's not gonna efficiently strike out the Red Sox.
Oh, not the top of that order, no.
Yeah,
but
like if he gets to 8 Ks, he's probably at 105 pitches in 4 innings or something.
Oh, come on. This guy's a stud.
He's got terrible command.
He's not terrible.
Right now.
He will have 50 at 2 innings. Maybe he will. I mean, immaculate innings coming, yeah. Back to back. He'll go 27 pitches through the first 9. 3 perfect. 9 Ks. No.
He faced 543 batters in AAA this year. Had a 4.27 walks per 9.
Yeah, I mean, if people aren't on, that's fine. I mean, I'm just going to have over the field. I'm not saying I'm playing 90% Kopech or anything.
That's what I heard, though. I mean, I read a tweet about it. You were going to play 90% Kopech. It was all over Twitter.
Lock button Kopech. There we go.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Is Woba not something to pay attention to? Do you want to answer that, Josh? I feel like we talk about this like once every couple of weeks, but
yeah, might as well. I've got this. I've got this speech down pat. So Woba is fine. It is a decent proxy for explaining an individual pitcher's talent. I would prefer to look at something like weighted runs created plus, which is going to adjust for ballpark and league levels. Same stat, just additional stuff added into it. The reason we don't pay too much attention to WOBA in a fantasy sense is that, and I'm going to hop right back to what I've talked about previously. If you look at the formula for WOBA, it's a linear weights formula where singles and doubles and triples and home runs are all assigned a particular weight, and that is what's going to help calculate WOBA. This is no different than the scoring systems for FanDuel or DraftKings. You're assigning a weight to a stat, and in this case, the WOBA weights and the fantasy scoring weights are dramatically different. Home runs are weighted significantly higher in fantasy, surprise, surprise, than they are in a WOBA calculation. So WOBA actually underrepresents guys that have big power from a fantasy perspective. So it's great for just sort of like eyeballing how good a guy could be, but it should not really be a part of any of your decision making.
There we go.
Boom. I should just save that and like post a minute video of talking about that on the website.
Yeah. Michael Wilmoth makes a good point. Ask Adam about Kopech. So yeah, Adam is super high on Kopech. But I mean, do they have a show today? Adam and Laffy?
Monday.
Okay. I was gonna say if they have a show, that'd be one to tune in for. I just want to see what they have to say about Kopech.
Tune in at 11 o'clock. We'll talk about it.
There you go.
Who's hitting leadoff for the Orioles? Cedric Mullins?
For the Orioles?
Let's get into the game first. I've got 2 blanks in this lineup, and I have a feeling it's just cosmetic. Orioles and Royals. Orioles 4.4 run implied total. Royals 4.9. 55% chance to win for the Royals. I don't know what I'm just doing. I got caught up in chat there. Andrew Cashner going for Baltimore. Brad Keller going for Kansas City. This is not a pitching spot. I like the hitting here on both sides. And it's sort of popular as well. So, are you going to Cashner or Keller at all?
I mean, I had some interest in Keller, but not with this weather. It's just too tough. Like, I like the idea of a righty as a favorite going up against Baltimore with a bunch of righties in a big park, but the park won't play as big with humid 85-degree weather and wind blowing out to left. So just going to cross off probably both pitchers here.
As you should.
And then bats, I like Adam Jones a little bit on Baltimore's side. And then if I'm going to a stack, it's going to be the Royals. It's going to be Merrifield. Stolen base matchup is good here. And then Salvador Perez I like a lot. If you just want to go and add in Gordon and Bonifacio, I think that's fine. But it's probably where everyone's going on this stack, right?
Yeah, lots of Perez, lots of Merrifield. No Bonifacio, but he might just not be in our projected lineup. I'm over the field on the Royals. They're 4th for me on FanDuel, 6th for me on DK. I'm over the field on the Orioles. They're 5th for me on FanDuel, 8th for me on DK. I'm just going to bet on one of these teams getting to one of these pitchers.
Duda is not going to be in this lineup.
That's because Duda's not on the team anymore.
Isn't he?
Keep going.
Acquired. Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Duda is just simply not on the Royals.
Yeah. He's not going to be in this lineup.
So if he plays, that's going to be real interesting. Somebody forgot to tell him that he got traded. Yeah, I need to... For some reason, Ryan O'Hearn not popping up for me. That'll do it.
Yeah, O'Hearn's fine.
So his name just wasn't in my Fangraphs name column. So okay. I was getting a blank.
Getting blanks. Nice.
Shooting blanks. With a gun. With a gun.
Cash is minus EV.
Stacking versus Cashner is minus EV. I'll take my chances there.
I think I'd rather stack against Cashner than James Shields if you're going 30 starts in a row.
I think I'd rather stack against Andrew Cashner than almost anyone in baseball.
Yeah, I mean
4.96 xFIP. Just a really not great pitcher, and they let him go usually, which is even better. He doesn't miss bats, walks people, gives up dongs. What more do you want?
I mean, he has a huge blow up every once in a while. Yeah. I mean, he's not always an auto stack for me, and the Royals are a bad team, so you can look at it a bunch of different ways. Like, he's got the 10-run start. He's definitely got that in his bag of tricks. So to say that you can't stack against Cashner, I think is wrong.
Yeah, give me Mullins, VR, Jones, Chris Davis, Tim Beckham. I want Merrifield, Gordon, Perez, Bonifacio, Dozier. I just want both sides of this game. Somebody's going to get popped. I'm confident.
All right.
Reds and Cardinals. Reds 3.6 run implied total. Cardinals 5.1. It's a 66% chance to win for the Cards. Homer Bailey going for Cincinnati. Austin Gomber going for St. Louis. Homer Bailey, man, 4,500, and I still don't get to him. Whew. No thank you on Homer Bailey. I'll have a little bit of Gomber. Fine with that. Reds have been really good against lefties, though, this year, so that's what gives me a little bit of pause. But are you looking to Gomber at all? Please tell me you're not going to Homer Bailey.
No, I think I'm done with the Homer Bailey experiment. I want to stack bats against him. This Cardinals team is a team I'll play at decent ownership on a 15-game slate.
Same.
Tons of power. And like guys like DeJong and O'Neill, they strike out a lot, but Bailey's forte is not striking guys out and just not missing bats overall. Pretty decent weather here too, humid and hot, 80 plus degrees. Fly ball pitcher guy who gives up a ton of hard contact to righties, near 50% on the season. I mean, what's not to like about these Cardinals? Like one of the highest line drive rates against righties of anyone on the slate. Bailey has. The whip is at 160 against righties. Yeah, I'm all over the Cardinals. I like them more than the two teams we just talked about. One of my favorite stacks on the night.
Yeah, I'm over the field on the Cardinals. Love Carpenter, love Molina, Jose Martinez, O'Neill, Greg Garcia. I'm going to get to a lot of Cardinals because, well, Homer Bailey. And I don't like him. No Reds for me. Schebler, Votto, just don't need to go lefty-lefty. I'm sure Jake's going to take Suarez as his dong pick tonight.
I mean, Suarez against the lefty, he's just such a lock. I think Gomber's been pretty lucky. What did you say his ownership was?
Gomber? 2.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was going to get some steam just because he's a minus 200 favorite. Yeah, I think he's been really lucky. I'm kind of puzzled by this 3.5 run total for the Reds. Doesn't that seem kind of low for a game with this good of hitting weather?
They're just
3.5.
I mean, I don't know, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's not that good of a lineup,
right? Okay,
I mean, does hitting weather really matter all that much if you've got guys like Peraza in the lineup who have no pop whatsoever?
Fair. But I do have interest in, at the very least, Reds mini stacks. So Suarez is going to be a huge part of that. And then I don't mind Votto or Scooter Gennett, and then Phillip Ervin as well. So
yeah, I think that having Suarez as a one-off is really the only thing you should do here.
Perfect. Yeah, if Suarez is out, then that makes a big difference for me.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have very, very little exposure if he's out. But if he's playing and he's against a lefty that I think is getting really lucky and he's going to be at low ownership, I'm all over that.
Lots of nothing to talk about for these next 4 games with a range of projected runs from 3.5 to 4.2. Just super sexy from an offensive perspective. Somebody's going to do really well with a late night hammer. Mariners and A's. Mariners 3.7 run implied total. A's 4.2. 56% chance to win for the A's. Mike Leake going for Seattle. Mike Fiers going for Oakland. I have neither of these guys at all. Are you going to any pitching here?
I think both of them are just too expensive. A's not a team I want to stack or I want to target against with pitching, especially not when your pitcher's Mike Leake. And
you don't like $9,600 Mike Fiers?
No, I mean $8,600. Okay, maybe now I'm starting to think about it, but no, as weird as it is, I'd probably go with Kopech over Fiers if I had to choose.
Fuck yeah.
And just go with the more talented player.
Yeah.
Probably very few Mariners. I do respect Fiers when he's at home. And that open bullpen has been really solid as well. So if it's bats here, it's going to be like a Chris Davis, Matt Chapman, Lowry, and Olsen type of thing.
I don't have any A's bats. I just have a very small amount of Mariners on DK. Otherwise, this game is a cross-off for me.
That's fair. I mean, it's such a tough place to hit in. This is probably like the 13th best hitting environment on the night out of 15 games.
Yeah.
Maybe 13th. Probably more like 14th or 15th.
Yeah, I don't want to be here at all for any of it. That was easy. Get ready because it's going to keep happening like that. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Diamondbacks 3.6 run implied total. Dodgers 4.2. It's a 56% chance to win for the Dodgers. Zach Greinke going for Arizona. Hyun-Jin Ryu going for LA. Is Ryu really going to get 0% ownership? So I've got 15%.
On Ryu?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of righties in this Diamondbacks lineup. So you got Pollock and Goldschmidt. Those two guys always come up for me against non-Chris Sale lefties. So that's about it. Like, I don't think I'm going to be stacking against Ryu.
I have no Diamondbacks.
And then I will definitely have some Ryu. Like, he's just a guy that'll end up in my player pool. Kind of the same thing I said with Anibal Sanchez in this 8K range. Not someone I'm fading. He'll definitely be in my player pool, and I'm fine if I end up with 10 to 15% of him. Single entry, I don't think I would go there, but that's just me. What about Greinke and or the Dodgers bats?
I do want to touch on one thing for Ryu right now. For his career, xFIP against righties lower than it is against lefties.
Yeah. He's got one of the lowest xFIPs. Here, let's see. He's got the lowest xFIP against righties on the slate for this season, 263. Just been really solid when he's been healthy.
Yeah. And I know that we just talked about this, but just as a reference point, a 292 WOBA against righties. I like this spot for Ryu. I want to have. I like being at 15%, especially if he's at 0. I wouldn't even hate having more. Any Greinke?
No.
Agreed.
Too expensive. Too tough of a lineup. In fact, I think I'm on the Dodgers.
No Dodgers for me. No bats at all in this game. Straight
low
0
ownership.
Everywhere.
Okay. So low ownership. You're going to get Greinke on the road, which is where you want to get him. He's even put voice to he feels better pitching at home. So he's on the road here. Like, contact, all that stuff goes up on the road. He's still a really solid pitcher, but I think he's got a much higher chance to get blown up here than if this game were in Arizona. 4.3 total is going to get people off the Dodgers. And I just want really good teams at low ownership and even against good pitchers. So that's where I'm at. The Dodgers will be one of my stacks, probably 7th or 8th highest owned main stack. So it's not like I'm going all in on them, but anytime this team is going to be low owned, I have interest.
Yeah, I won't be there. Again, another 10 o'clock game where bats aren't super interesting to me. Just give me the Ryu.
That's fair.
Rockies and Padres. Rockies 4.3 run implied total. Padres 4.0. It's a 53% chance to win for the Rockies. Antonio Senzatella going for Colorado. Brett Kennedy going for San Diego. We dumpster diving for both of the pitchers here? Because I am. Senzatella, chalk, 28% expected ownership. He's the one that people seem to be dumpster diving for. What do you think of Kennedy in this spot?
I don't think Kennedy is great, but he is cheap and he's somewhat stretched out. And I think he can get me to double digits or maybe even 15 if things go well. You know how bad Colorado is outside of Coors. They're just like one of the worst teams on the road against righties in the MLB. And that's what they have here. I know Kennedy's not going to light the world on fire, but I'm willing to take a shot on him. And as I said last night at Night Shift, just kind of close your eyes and take 15, 20% of him and hope he doesn't kill you, because that's what you need at 4,400. The bats are going to win the GPPs tonight, and Kennedy unlocks a lot of the top bats like Lindor and Ramirez and the Yankees. So,
yep. And
even my Dodgers. So, yeah.
We're on the same page. I have 25% Senzatella. It's right with the field. I've got 24% Kennedy. I expect to have a lot of my low tier exposure wrapped up in these clowns.
But man, Senzatella at 28%. I get it, it's against the Padres, but he doesn't miss bats at all. So he's another one where I don't think I'm worried about him killing me if I fade him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that either of these guys kill you. They're just conduits to saving you, I guess.
True.
But yeah, he does not exactly a noted strikeout expert.
No. I mean, the swinging strike rate is below 7 on the season. That's pretty atrocious. The chase rate is below 23%. That's atrocious. I don't know. I mean, just not a guy I ever want to play at chalk. So I'm going to be well under that 28% ownership we have for him.
Speaking of this game, we didn't touch on it yet, but I was quite into Eric Lauer yesterday. And Eric Lauer gave up 0 hits in 5 innings. So,
jeez.
Go Eric Lauer. His defense let him down quite a bit, but Team Eric Lauer, baby. Don't forget it.
Yes. Start Severino. Whatever format it is, just play Severino.
Agreed. And no bats for me on DraftKings here, but I'll have a tiny bit of Rockies on FanDuel.
So you're just going to mention Eric Lauer and not mention my guy? You're not going to mention my guy, Marquez, 13 strikeouts?
I guess not.
I mean, this dude, I said I expected 25 to 30 DK points at least. I was wrong. He got 38.
Yeah, I mean,
Marquez,
I liked him.
Certified stud. Almost went lock button on him, and I didn't. I need to protect my wallet there and not get too far ahead of myself. But that was one where it would have been cool to say I had lock button Marquez. I don't think I would have won anything still, but
you know how much you had?
It just would have been fun to say. 75.
Did you really? Holy shit.
Yeah. I capped him at 75.
I remember you saying that on the live stream.
If I would have let Fantasy Cruncher do its thing based on the projection I had in for him, he would have been in 100%. But I was like, man, do I really want to go in 100% on a guy that's chalk? But I should have.
Yeah, he was phenomenal yesterday.
He is. He's really a stud.
Hey, look, Eric Lauer left the game with a no-hitter, so I'm not sure who was better.
True.
I'm positive who was better. It was Marquez. Final game. Ugh. Mets and Giants. Mets 3.5 run implied total. Giants 3.8. It's a 54% chance to win for the Giants. Zach Wheeler going for New York. Andrew Suarez going for San Francisco. If you've been on this show before, you will know that I have 2.5 times the field of Andrew Suarez on DraftKings. However, I have essentially no ownership to Zach Wheeler, and Jake is about to tell you why that's stupid.
Yeah, Wheeler's, talk about a guy that's just been balling lately. The results look great. The park is fantastic. No McCutchen. They just lost one of their best hitters and a guy that doesn't strike out all that often. So I don't know who they're going to replace him with. Steven Duggar, Austin Slater, Hunter Pence, the corpse of Hunter Pence. Like, I'm just all over Wheeler here. He's got strikeout upside, and the Mets treat him like an ace. Like, he throws well over 100 pitches when he's having a good start. 109, 113 his last two, 108, 104, 4 out of his last 5. Like, he is just – I just love when pitchers can go 110 plus pitches. And at 10-6 as a pivot to Kluber or off of Kluber, yeah, I'm all over Zach Wheeler in AT&T, the best pitching environment on the entire slate.
Yeah, that's the crazy part to me here. I don't know why I don't have Wheeler.
I mean, 1% is ridiculous. You should never be 1% in this park. Like, just for people, just for a pure pivot, like, let's say Kluber leaves in the second inning for whatever reason. Like, you have to get some exposure to Wheeler. If we were actually confident that he was going to be 1% owned and Kluber was going to be 55.
Yeah. No, look, I don't know why I'm not getting him. I think it's an innings thing. So I need to look into his
what do you
game
want
logs.
from the guy?
What?
What do you want from the guys? He's going 7 in 4 of his last 5.
No. So, sorry, let me be more specific. I think I have him underrepresented in innings. So I'm looking into that now to see if that really is the case. So for the year, he's averaging just over 6 innings per start. I have him dramatically underrepresented here. I have him only for 5.7. That is not happening in this ballpark as an average. He should certainly be projected for more than his season averages if he's playing in AT&T. So I'm going to bump him up a little bit there. That will help drive him up. I think that I'm going to start agreeing with you a little bit. I want to have a little tiny bit of Wheeler if he's 1%. So apologies
I mean,
for
I'm gonna have
earlier.
more Wheeler than Kluber. Let's put it like that. More Wheeler than Kluber for
Oh,
me.
shit. I won't, but I'll have enough Wheeler to be leveraged over the field significantly, and I'll be at half the field of Kluber from an ownership perspective. I can't full
Right.
fade him because I think he's. I like the play. I just don't like the ownership.
Yeah. I'm just worried about the ownership. I'm worried that Kluber is not necessarily, he's not right. I don't think, or he's not the same pitcher. It's one of those two, and I think Wheeler is right, and it's a better park against a terrible team that just lost their second best hitter probably.
Yeah. All right, pick a team. Let's look at some stacks.
Oh, let me mention Suarez. I'm on him too.
Oh,
So
what?
Park. Yeah, I wrote him up in Spotlight Pitchers, so I got to mention him.
Did I accidentally write Spotlight pitchers today? Suarez. I have Suarez every 6 days for 4 months.
Yeah, so he's at home. He's against the Mets. The Mets are brutal against lefties. They've been a little bit better as of late. Now they've just got some righty bats in there, but I'm seeing 4 lefties plus Wheeler, who is also a lefty, and Suarez is really solid against lefty bats. Put him in this huge park and not chalk. Him and Pavetta are going to be the majority of my exposure in like the 7 to 8K range.
Yeah, I've got 25%. We're only projecting 9. It's the ballpark,
Yeah.
man. We're in agreement. No bats in this on either side, right? Like,
No, I don't think Todd Frazier. If I was going to one bat,
yeah, I'll pass on the entire hitting at fucking 10 o'clock.
I don't know. I just like to give people options. Maybe they want the late night hammer and there's a showdown slate or something.
What in the world would you do if you just played the turbo 10 o'clock slate?
Oh,
Every single team sucks.
No, I'd tell you right now what I would do.
Well, you would play the Dodgers. I know you would play the Dodgers.
Yeah, just play the Dodgers. You're fading Greinke just by default. I'd play Wheeler, Suarez, and probably fill in with some Oakland bats and maybe a bat against Senzatella. That's what I would do if I was hand building one lineup.
There you go. Well, now let's look at some crunches. Give me a team that we could check out.
All right, it feels like so long ago we talked about some of these teams, but let's try the Phillies.
Okay. I want to touch on one lineup just off the bat here, or at least 2 lineups. Let me share my screen with you. I'm working on it. There are 2 lines at the top of my list that are pretty interesting because they have Severino and Kluber together.
Yeah.
Orioles and Chalk Twins with good parts of the Orioles. I like Sano quite a bit. I like Kepler a ton. I might be Logan Forsythe's biggest fan. And then Giants Rangers. So 2 fully different full 4-4 stacks with Severino and Kluber. I think it's crazy that you can get to that.
I mean, yeah.
Like I don't
Severino.
really like Hunley, Belt, Panic, Pence, but if it means that I have Chalk Severino, Chalk Kluber, Chalk Rangers, who knows? All right, you said Phillies?
Yeah.
I got 3 of them, so let's check it out. Phillies Orioles, Phillies Astros, the old Suarez Brett Kennedy combo. And then Phillies Astros again, Pavetta, Valdez, Jake. That's the lineup right there.
Yeah. You get Hoskins, Correa, Springer, Altuve.
Joey Bats making his way through the NL East.
Is he going to play for every team this year? Or
I'm going to go ahead and assume that he doesn't get to the Marlins anytime soon. Seems like a weird pickup in September. Just guessing, though.
All right. That looks nice. Pavetta. I'd probably do someone else than Valdez. But
oh, you're crazy,
I'm seeing a way to get to like you could go down to Brett Kennedy or something and get in or Senzatella, whatever, and get in Bregman instead of Bautista. or Ramirez. Like that, just
How's that
that's a
for you?
sick lineup. Yeah, love it.
You still got $500 left.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll want Pavetta, but you can go up to noted better
Get
pitcher,
Suarez.
Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Yeah. There you go.
Boom
better
town. I like it. Let's look at one other before we get out of here. Who's a team that I'm way over the field on that we agreed on? Nats?
Yeah, it feels like that was 6 hours ago that we talked about them.
Nats stacks. Nats and Twins, Nats and Yanks, Nats and Rangers. All these Nats stacks with Harper, Turner, Soto. You can get to one of the main starting pitchers with a value guy, whether you're running out Senzatella or Brett Kennedy. Andrew Suarez with the Orioles. I mean, I really like the Nats today, especially if they're not going to have as much ownership as I will.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have some Nats. Harper and Soto, especially, like that, as EMAC calls them, dynamic duo.
Exactly. Oh, anything else you want to touch on?
I just think you need to mention your show with Adam.
Yeah, so here come the plugs, people. Get ready. In 22 minutes, I will be live again with Adam at Ship My Money DFS for the tentatively named process show. We will take name submissions if you'd like. So check that out. We'll go for about an hour. From A to B, Andrew and Ben will be back in the 2 to 2:30 range today, going for an hour. The deeper dive, Adam and Lofty's pre-lock show will be back starting Monday. That'll be somewhere in the 5 o'clock range. That'll run to 6. And at 6 o'clock, you will transition back to the standard live before lock show with either myself, Chris, or Jake. This weekend, Jake and EMAC tomorrow, breaking down the Saturday slate. Sunday morning, myself and EMAC breaking down the Sunday slate. The content is coming, people. Check out the deep dive if you're a premium member of Awesemo.com. That will be posted in the early afternoon. Check out the daily game plan in your email. Check out Spotlight, hitters, pitchers, stacks. This is what we've been picturing the entire time, people. Tons and tons and tons and tons of content. So, get ready for it. Jake, did I miss anything?
No, just can't wait to consume all this content. Honestly, for myself, just to become a better player.
So if you guys don't like me, today's not going to be your favorite day because you're getting me 3 times. Shark, yeah. Jake and EMAC show will never end.
Hopefully we only have like 8 or 9 games slates, so we'll just go like 3 hours instead of 6.
Have you looked at how big the slate is for tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm going to have to do a night shift on it though, so I'll be...
Oh, don't worry. It's only a 13-gamer.
Jeez.
Jake and EMAC breaking it down. Get ready, everybody.
Well, I'll talk to you offline.
I have no idea what you just said anyway, but perfect. Best of luck, everybody. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Bye.